Wasn't exactly, what was that?
I think the Vikings are coming.
Yeah.
Good morning, Richland County. It is Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. It is Valentine's Day and Stacy Crawl's birthday. Happy birthday. Stacy.
Happy 29th. That you lead us in song.
All right, thank you.
They don't want that kind of stuff. Anyway, the Richland County Board of Commissioners is now in session. I'm County Commissioner Cliff Mears, joined by my fellow commissioners, Tony Vero, Darrell Banks, the birthday gal, Stacy Crawl, David Morgenstern, and our County Administrator, Andrew Keller. On media, we have, and Greg Kale from WMFD with his camera. And we have Carl and Al both online. Okay. Well, our agenda calls for Kara Russell, the Director of the Building Department, to be here at 9:30. She's apparently a little bit late. So we will move on to our other business on the agenda. And the first item actually is Kara's, so we'll bypass that. That's the agreement with Crestline for residential enforcement. I'll move on to certifying the record of proceedings for February 9th. Could I have a motion to approve?
I have several amendments. I noticed 3 spots in the minutes, all under tape 0.0.41. As Chris stated, one, the foundation has funds. Not sure if that is correct, meaning did she answer in twofold, Stacy, if you could review that. The other is the 22 million estimated $5 million maintenance funds. I think that should,
Oh,
I think it's meant to stay, the estimate includes $5 million in maintenance funds. And then towards the end, it says Chris stated inflation could be period. Chris added the is the truth is the cost. I'm not sure what you were attempting to say there. So I don't know. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Want me to fix it
Yeah, you may.
Thursday?
Okay, that'll work. So then we won't make a motion to approve minutes at this time, and I'll go over it with you, Stacy.
Okay.
well, I think you can stop right there and it's Kara Russell from the building here, and we will move on to her. Unit or the building. Kara, with that, you're in the right seat, right up front, center. And if you're ready, I'll turn it over to you. How's that sound?
Copies.
I know you and I have talked about this already, so if you want to recap what this is all about.
We were approached by the Village of Crestline to take over their residential code enforcement. We already do their commercial code, building code enforcement. They have a department, so they're just going to contract with us to basically be in charge of their, we're going to be the ones that are their department then. They contract with us to be their department. It'll be kind of the same setup how we have now. People just apply to us, we collect the fees, we do the work. There's no like charge between between the Richland County and the Village of Crestline. We just pay for our services through the fees that we collect.
We thought it was just because Ken wanted to go to Miserito a little more.
Yeah, well, we already go there for all their commercial stuff, so they're doing a lot. They have, because of the stuff which will resolve itself with their new wastewater facilities that they're building, but they have a moratorium on new buildings. So the biggest new stuff they have is that Willow Run or whatever it is, in the old trailer park that they're making into I think like a senior type. They're homes, though they're single family dwellings. So we'll take over all of that.
A revenue estimate on that ballpark?
I do not, the bulk of our revenue does not come from residential because the residential fees are a lot less then.
Right.
But there also won't be a lot of extra work involved with it, so, the fees will cover, our residential fees cover what it costs us to do that, and they're adjacent to us, so it's not like we have to travel a far distance to get to them or anything, so we feel the fees will be self-sustaining for that, and we're already in Crestline in Crawford County anyway for commercial, and all of our inspectors can inspect commercial and residential and everything, so.
So close to Richland County that one of their streets is in Richland County.
Yes, actually, the part of the Willow Run things are all actually in Richland County, but they're in,
I think it's about
Fine.
28 parcel numbers. I had Pat pull it just to see how much of Crestline is in Richland County. And I think it's 28 total parcels. That isn't even residential. So
Who's doing it now for them?
Crestline has their own department now. It's the state department, but they no longer have the certified staff that they're required to have for the state. So that's why they're contracting with us.
motion to approve.
Second,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
yes.
Commissioner Barrow,
Yes.
Any media questions? Greg, you go first.
So basically, you're doing the work for them. Do they like hold copies of the documents, or do you just handle all of that?
No, that will all come to our department. They are looking at possibly having like a Dropbox just so for the residential, just so they don't have to come all the way into Mansfield to apply. But they won't process them. It would just literally be a Dropbox and then we would pick them up. Similar to our Dropbox that we have outside of our office right now where people can just drop stuff off. So
This is for all new construction, both residential and.
we currently do commercial and we handle commercial for all of Crawford County and Galleon and Crestline and Richland County. We're just adding the residential portion to Crestline.
Carl, do you have anything?
Yeah, I got a few things. Kara, when you say Crestline no longer has the certified staff, they have had in the past, and I've heard lots of stories. What's your take on why Crestline no longer has certified staff that are required by the state to do this work?
I can't speak to why Crestline doesn't have, I know it's hard to find staff that have the state certifications. When it comes to certified building departments, there are requirements and the staff holding certain positions have to have certain certifications such as, for the case of a residential, there's a residential building official, you have to have the certifications from the state that involves some training by the state, involves passing tests. Same thing for the inspectors and that sort of thing. And then you have another level above that for the commercial. Residential departments are not required by the state, but if you have one, you have to have the certified staff. But it is becoming harder to find the certified staff because we are competing with the private industry and as well as not just code enforcement, but engineering and electricians and those kind of things that could come into the position can also work as electricians and that sort of thing. So it's harder to find staff. And if you have a smaller department, you might not be able to offer full-time positions and that makes it harder. But I can't speak to anything specific with Crestline. I am not privy to any of that.
Okay, do you anticipate your department now having to do any sort of a backlog of work? Since how long has it been since they had certified staff? And are there a backlog of work that you're going to have to do to catch up?
Sure. My understanding in talking with the village is they only have one current permit that is open. So we will take that over. And then they have some permits that they have not issued yet because they got submitted for those right as they were talking with the state about how to what to do with their department. So those will then get applied to us. And those are actually for the Willow Run set up there. So I'm not envisioning a large amount of backlog and we will take over those projects and make sure those buildings are safe for the residents of Crestline.
Yeah, I'm going to be calling over to Crestline again this morning, but do you know how long they had or claimed to have a residential Building Codes Office?
I do not know that. I do not know when they were certified by the state originally.
Okay, has Richland County ever done their residential work?
No, we have not. We have not done residential outside of Richland County.
She's expanding her empire like Darth Vader.
Do you anticipate having to add any staff, or can this be absorbed by current staff?
This can be absorbed by current staff, their current levels that they have. As I said, they currently have some moratoriums on work because of restrictions with their wastewater. So at least for right now, everything can be handled. We're already in Crestline and Crawford County for our commercials, so we can just pick up our residential inspections at the same time.
And you were saying you don't anticipate this, what is the revenue that you generate from the commercial work in Crestline?
I do not have those numbers. If you want, I can write down some numbers that you want and I can get back with you.
Yeah, that would be fine. Stacy has my email. And Stacy, can you make sure that a copy of the agreement that was agreed to this morning gets emailed to Al and I? I'm
Sure
assuming-
can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I had, Kara. Thank you.
So you just need you just want to know the commercial income
Right,
from
and
Crestline?
right. And if you have any kind of an estimate on what the residential will mean.
I already asked that, Hunnell.
Yeah. I'm not envisioning a lot. Our residential fees are a lot less than our commercial fees because one, we know a lot of homeowners do a lot of work and we try to keep that. We're just trying to make sure those are safe. Two, the commercial requires a lot more certifications and a lot more reviews and work on them. So they do cost us more to do code enforcement for commercial properties.
And I guess just from a general standpoint, if you're doing residential code enforcement and someone does work or builds a house and it's certified by someone who's not qualified by the state, does that property have to be redone by someone who is certified at a later date?
So when you get into the building department, we would not make the building be redone. In this case, there's a department, so there is technically still a department, so that would fall on them. If, let's say, for instance, you had any project, commercial or residential, that was done without permits, we do have a process. It is not our goal to make you tear down the building and rebuild it. We do have things in place where we can go out. We might have you dig down on some foundations, make sure they're deep enough. Try to do as much things. What we're going to look for are serious hazards, things that could be a serious problem and a serious safety hazard in those buildings.
Okay, well, let me ask it this way. Do you anticipate having a list of properties that you're going to have to go and look at that have been quote unquote certified by Crestline that might need a second look now?
I do not anticipate that, no.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Anything, Al?
No, thank you.
Okay, thanks. I know, Kara, you and I had a conversation. I told you I talked to the mayor of Crestline, Linda Horning Pitt, last week, and she's been very happy with the work you've done on the commercial side. So I think that lent itself to expanding that. So well done. Nice job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Two other items of business on the agenda. Could I have a motion to approve requisitions? No move.
Just real quick, I'll second it, but a quick question. Does the money for the cruisers actually mean we're going to get them?
Well, wouldn't that be nice? I
Just asking.
don't know. Commissioner Mears? Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Get with you.
We have a couple of utility permit applications. One for Northern Ohio for work on Baseline Road. Motion.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Next item of business is the other utility permit for Columbia Gas for work on Middle Belleville.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes.
Yes.
Last item on our agenda before we go into executive session at 10 o'clock. To accept the retirement letter from child support employee Tomasina Milano. Sounds Italian. Somebody you know.
Where she married an Italian. I'm sure she's wonderful and her husband's probably wonderful too then. She does a great job. She'll be missed and we thank you so much for that's a lot of notice, so that'll help us fill the void left because she does a great job. So motion to begrudgingly accept.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
That concludes the business on our agenda. Are there any questions from the media or any other business to be conducted right now until we break for 15 minutes?
Do you anticipate action after the latest executive session?
No, do we?
Possibility.
I think so, yeah. Not major action, Carl, but yeah, I think we will have some action.
All right, very good. I got to call the mayor in Crestline.
Could you just, without obviously going into the details of your executive session, what you can say about your executive session?
It's regarding Job and Family Services employment.
Internal. It was internal postings.
Going to recess at 9:46 for executive session at 10 o'clock and 14 minutes.
Mr. Mark.
And it's about the same distance.
Same time.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, the Richland County Board of Commissioners is back in session. We're joined by Lori Bedson, Job and Family Services. Could I have a motion to go into executive session?
For the purpose of,
Oh, for the purpose of
no,
employment of public employees. Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vero?
Yes.
I did have something. I don't know if, I don't think it goes in executive session, just
About,
the post.
oh, we don't need to do that.
Okay.
It is 10:24. Could I have a motion to leave executive session?
So move.
Second.
Typically do that,
Oh,
but that's okay.
You want to vote on that?
No, you can if you want, Commissioner Mears.
No? Okay. So
Okay.
I'd like to pose a couple of motions. The first one is for Annalisa
Annalisa?
Yeah.
Annalisa?
and Lisa. Okay, and Lisa Russell, who for the last 5 years has been an eligibility referral specialist 2 at $19.32 an hour. We'd like to promote her to training officer 1 effective Thursday, February 16th for the new pay period. Going to a new salary of $20.29. And this is with the applicable probationary period. Could I have that motion?
Move.
second.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
And the second motion I'd like to ask for is to have Jennifer A. Williams, who has for the last 9 years been an eligibility referral specialist 2, to promote her on the same day, Thursday, February 16th, with again, the new pay period to eligibility referral specialist 1 at a salary of $20.29.
I think it's supervisor 1.
Yes.
What'd I say?
Referral specialist.
I'm sorry, eligibility referral supervisor 1. I wrote it down. I didn't say it right.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Mears, Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Any other business to discuss? Okay.
Lori.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now that we're promoting to eligibility referral specialists, I would like to have the board's permission to post an eligibility referral specialist position. And we would post that internally first, because there may be a unit support worker or someone of a lower classification that or pay grade that might want to apply for that. And then if we do not get any internal applicants, we'd like to move that out as an external posting.
Just 1 or 2.
Just one at this time.
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Commissioner Vero.
Yes.
Do we have Carl or Al or anyone online?
Al, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, hearing no other business, Board of Commissioners is hereby adjourned at 10:27 a.m.